Hello, everyone, and this is a special meeting with our dearest board of directors, some of the board of directors here, and we are. I'm going to say something about the new ABN launch and where are we going, what are we doing, and when it's going to be completed. And I welcome. The Brother Asad, the chairman of the board of directors. Welcome, Brother Asad.
I'm so happy to be here.
God bless you. And also welcome Dr. Bill Hustler, Pastor Bill, the vice chairman of the board of directors. Welcome, Pastor Bill. Thank you. So, and welcome everyone. Now, I would like to start that about a couple of questions I want to say. As you know, we have been talking about the 1040 window and the Vision 2020 of ABN last year. So we have been almost 20 months now. A few questions that we're going to answer now is what are the projections of our viewership in the satellites, the new satellites that we are going to talk. Like, for example, here to India, it's called ABS2. And also here to Africa, it's called ABS3. What are the numbers? What are some statistics? And then how many will be watching? Yeah, in other words, in numbers of views to justify spending, it's going to be over 100,000, maybe over $200,000 in order to cover all satellites, including obviously Nilesat and Yahsat. But before starting with that, I would like to encourage you with a few verses from the Old Testament about Moses taking his people to cross the river to the Promised Land. And Moses answered the people, "Do not be afraid, stand firm, and you will see the deliverance the Lord will bring you today. The Egyptians you see today, you will never see again. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still." The Lord will fight for ABN. We need only to be still. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Why are you crying out to me? Tell the Israelites to move on. Raise your staff and stretch out your hand over the sea to divide the water, so that the Israelites can go through the sea on dry land or on dry ground. I will harden the hearts of the Egyptians so that they will go in after them. And I will gain glory through Pharaoh and all his army, through his chariots and his horsemen." And the last verse 18, "The Egyptians will know that I am the Lord when I gain glory through Pharaoh, his chariots, and his horsemen." Praise God. That is the things what we supposed to start to our mindset in crossing to the Promised Land. And our Promised Land is we have almost two regions, India and surrounding, and also Central and South of Africa, because North of Africa already it's covered by another satellite. It's called Nilesat. Now, you remember the words of Jesus about the Great Commissions, okay? And not only that, but then also with his disciples, he said, "Look to the harvest," and while he was sending, he said, "The fields are ripe, okay, but the workers." That's another place. He said, "The workers are few." Yes, the workers are few, but there is nothing impossible for God. as you remember, about 2 months ago here in ABN, and I'm sorry I didn't welcome you, Nawal. You were not here. Welcome, Nawal. Also, you are with us.
Thank you, Dr. Bassim.
You remember about 2 months ago, Brother Asad, also that we were talking about how to drop Nilesat, to drop the channel on Nilesat to Middle East for the sake of India and South Africa. So because God called us to go here to South Africa, including India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Bhutan, Nepal, and even Thailand and some other, Sri Lanka and some other countries here. And that was the, by the way, talking about going to India. We already relaunched the channel on the ground on July 13th, 2021. But now, within less than 2 months, by October 1st, actually 1 month, by October 1st, we will launch it into India and surrounding. But in order to go to India, I said, okay, let's drop Nilesat. And that was the only tool, really, the only reason I could try to convince the team of ABN, could convince the board to go to the almost 2 billion of people in this satellite, which is called ABS-2. To India and surrounding, because just India is 1.318. Now, why did I say that? Because I knew it, I felt it, I felt the call of God, I felt the favor of God, and His voice saying, "Go, Bassim, go, Bassim, go, Bassim, Bassim. Don't worry, I will take care of the rest of other things." And you know, Sister Nawal, as you remember, last September, we launched the channel on Yahsat. And we just, by faith, we launched it within just 1 year, okay, even less than 1 year. Okay, actually, after 4 months, we started getting the good news, and the viewers, and especially partners and supporters, you have been receiving our newsletters month to month, how the graph of the testimonies, and those are coming, and we are actually overwhelmed what we do with this huge number of them. That's only 1 year. That's only, it was like when you talk about Iran, Afghanistan, and Turkey, only these three, the total number, they are less than 250 million. That's it. With this 250 million, less than that, and with this small Yahsat satellite, within 1 year, you see what's happening. Now imagine, what will you multiply, but what number, when you are now talking about India and the surrounding, not only on the ground, but also through the satellite. And in John chapter 4, verse 35, Jesus said, "I tell you, open your eyes and look at the fields. They are ripe for harvest." This is not only I feel, Nawal, the team, the board, this is exactly what ABN is hearing, is thinking, is doing, is preparing, and is praying. Our 1040 window, that was our vision last 20 months ago. Vision is really a relentless vision, a vision that cannot be moved. It's unshakable vision. And God gave us the favor, and we are moving, and soon we're going to complete the project of this vision. Complete covering it but the project is going to continue for years. And as we can see these maps, okay, and as Paul said, Paul, and here's really what I want to say to you. I'm seeing it. Here is a big, wide door of opportunity God has opened for ABN and for you, because you are partner, okay, to take a new ground. ABN this year, in 2021, is taking off the business, and ABN taking off the ministry as a ministry, and our God is about to show out to give us His favor. He already started about a year or 2 years ago, let's say 20 months ago. But I want to say this. Because of the last 15 years, and you were with us, helping us, supporting us, praying for us, and you saw the kind of difficulties and stress that we were going through in the last 15 years, and a while, and the board, you can tell, even sometimes we decided to sell the building, okay, in order to keep the satellite. And because of those 15 years of patience, of waiting, of hard work, of a little income, of tiny salaries. I want to put a red line here because the board is sitting and the wall is here. Of very tiny salary for all of us. Now God is about to show out. We are working obviously very hard, and we have made our mind for the 1040 window. We are in it to win it. And as you see these two maps behind me, we have two mountains, South Asia, including India and Africa. And can God move these two mountains? And I will share with you a verse from Mark chapter 11:23. Jesus said, "Truly I tell you, if anyone say to this mountain, go throw yourself into the sea, and does not doubt in their hearts, but believes that what they say will happen, it will be done for them." This is not a promise, by the way. What Jesus is saying here, this is not a promise. There are conditions and there are expectations attached to this saying of Jesus. So, getting now into the story. It takes faith to trust God and to jump out of the boat, like Peter, or to take faith to feed 5,000 men with only 5 loaves and 2 fish. But also it took faith that Moses had courage to that. So it took Moses courage, not only faith, but courage also to follow God and to obey God, what he has told him. And really it's the same thing for us, for me, you, the board, the team, and even our teams of every language, teams of Iran, team of Afghanistan, team of India, we have multiple teams. Okay, so Nawal and I, as you know, the great team behind us, we have the joy of seeing the power of God at work. And if you want Nawal to speak to you, call Nawal and she will explain to you what joy we are having because of this. Despite of all difficulties, despite of all problems, financial stress, oppositions, from you name it. Okay. So also Joshua. So Moses was courageous and has to obey. But Joshua also, he had courage to lead well, and many leaders, of the Bible needs courage to lead in the face of the physical danger as our churches in Afghanistan or Iran or India or anywhere else. So Joshua led the people into the promised land as God commanded him and took possessions of it. How did Joshua do that? One word: by fearlessness. By fearlessness, he moved toward and he did it. And we need also, I am going to give two more examples. We need also not only the courage of Moses and Joshua, we need also the Abigail courage to act quickly, to do the right things when you are in the season of his grace. Because there's seasons God give you favor. You are under the grace season. Try quickly to make use of that opportunity of that season before it's going to be too late. God is not going to wait on and on and on if you don't move. So let us not miss God's opportunities in this precious time and season. And I would like to talk to some of you by telephone in the coming weeks so that I will answer your questions as well. It's about knowing when to act. I'm talking about Abigail. Knowing when to act rather than just standing by and doing nothing. I don't like really, and for me, Bassim, I don't like to be left thinking, oh no, I shouldn't have, blah, blah, blah. Or we should not have done it that way. Abigail was a woman, not a man, who acted quickly and wisely. She not only averted the disaster, but stopped David from taking revenge. Abigail, actually, I want you to listen to this. Abigail went against the social expectations of her time. And that's what God wants from each one of us. And finally, the example of the Good Samaritan. He used his courage instead of comfort. It takes effort to act in the right way, and often it is uncomfortable and risky, uncomfortable, and there might be failure or might danger to be killed. And that's what our brothers and sisters in Afghanistan, in Iran, or in other countries of the 1040 window. And moving outside of our comfort zone is not only uncomfortable, it takes courage like the Good Samaritan. Yes, the workers are few, but there's nothing impossible for God. God is asking us to stand out in this year, you and us, to stand out for those suffering injustice, whether India, Afghanistan, and surrounding. Like Good Samaritan, he was suffering injustice. So you say it can be too easy to ignore. Sorry, you see it can be too easy to ignore doing the right thing, like the priest and the Levite. I can give you a lot of reasons about that. Mercy and justice, here what this Good Samaritan did. Mercy and justice take time, take money, and takes inconveniences. And obviously, it takes courage to step out of the comfortable zone. And finally, I would say I want to compare between last September and this September. In 1 year, just 1 year, God thrilled us by the revival I see. Now, was it revival?
It was great revival.
And actually, in this newsletter that you will receive, the fourth page is only testimonies. We choose only 20. But I already told Nawal and the staff, I told them, next newsletter, we have to prepare a booklet to insert, booklet of testimonies in the newsletter. It's going to be expensive, but you will receive a booklet of what God is doing. Okay, so we not only uh, uh, sorry, we not only we got like a good programs for Farsi and Afghanistan, great staff, new missionaries, equipment, satellites, paying, billing, but we got really good results. And you see the testimonies every newsletter, every day, and each one of us, we are overloaded. Beside our assignments of daily, now we have to take care of this, and that's why we are now applying. We are what do you call it? Uh, uh, Asking people to join us. Okay, new employees, part time or full time. We need your help. We need your support, and thank you very much. God bless you all.